Hello, my quilty friends. It's Stacy of Stacy Creates Stuff, and today I am catching you up on what I've been up to in about the last month. It was about a month ago that I released a video of my latest quilt design, Floating, which featured the fabric of Flora and Form from Wyndham Fabrics. That was a great quilt that really showcased statement fabrics that you didn't want to cut up into tiny pieces. So this quilt was all about big squares with some sashing between. Anyway, in case you missed that video, you can check it out here or in the link in the description below. Now, I have been quilting quite a bit since then, but I don't have a new design ready for release. I did, however, remake a couple of quilts. One is my original design, Modern Square, which, because I've made a few modifications to it, I'm calling it Modern Square 2. It's done in a completely different colorway. And this one, I decided that it would be better to kit it with all of the same yardage for the fabrics that are going to be the squares. So in this case, the pinks and peaches and oranges for the quilt. And that way you have freedom as the quilter to arrange them however you would like. But now, because you have in the kits all of the same yardage for those, you can decide which order they go in. The kits are available exclusively from my favorite quilt shop, Vintage Pink and Green. Link in the description below, or check out this QR code. Now, I also remade another favorite quilt of mine, not that I designed. It is a Tilda design, and of course I used Tilda fabrics. That is the Whimsy quilt. This is probably one of my most watched videos on how I made 2 Whimsy quilts in one day. I have to say, though, that this one I actually made in less than 6 hours. So I used Tilda's Merry Little Christmas to create this beautiful quilt. And the pattern is available for free from Tilda's website. And kits are available, again, at my favorite quilt shop, Vintage Pink and Green. They have them in the large throw, small twin size, and they are also going to be having a king size version. I don't think that's quite ready yet, but it will be shortly. Now, I was able to get so much quilting done because I went on a little bit of a solo-ish retreat. I went to Pennsylvania to visit an artist friend of mine, and while she was working in her studio, I had the chance to spend uninterrupted hours making a quilt. Not just one, I made 2 full quilt tops, the Modern Square 2 and the Tilda Whimsy in the Merry Little Christmas. I also made all of the blocks for another one of my patterns, Interwoven, and this time I did use Tilda fabric. I just thought it would be really fun, and I wasn't sure if it would be too busy. So I don't have that quilt top completely done yet, but I do have most of it laid out on my design wall. So I want to know what you think. Is it too busy? Or, you know, the way Tilda is with all those fabrics that just go beautifully together? Is it just a really fun quilt? So let me know in the comments below, is this something that you would make with the Tilda fabrics? Now, I do have the Interwoven available as a free download, and I will put the link in the description and also this QR code. And this would be the 4th version of this quilt. I do know that Vintage Pink and Green has kits for 2 of the versions, and possibly 3 of the other versions, and that is the original, which is called Autumn, Sea Glass, and Spring. So I will put pictures of all of those here so that you can see, and links if they have kits available, I will put below. Besides working on those, I also started on another quilt project. This is one of my original designs, and it is in honor of the 250th anniversary of the United States. So I wanted to do something patriotic, but also Scrappy. So that's what I did. I picked out a bunch of blues and a bunch of reds and some creamy colors. I'm not a very traditional red, white, and blue kind of person. I like the more antique looking fabrics. So the darker blues, a little bit more red, brown, burgundy for the reds. And of course, I really love those distressed looking creams too. So I wanted it to look old because, you know, the US, we're older now than we were. And I just wanted to reflect that with that. So that quilt and pattern are coming, but I'll give you a little bit of sneak peek of what the blocks look like. I also had time to make a fun little half apron, and I'm going to be making another one, and I will probably have a tutorial for that. But the exciting thing is that this summer I will be teaching up at Vintage Pink and Green in Pennsylvania, their Weissport, Pennsylvania store, which is up in the Poconos. I will be teaching a series of classes. I will have more information on that as we get a little bit closer, but one of the classes will be how to make a ruffled apron, where how to make a ruffle is really the focus of the class, and we're just going to be ruffling an apron. I think it will be a lot of fun. I will have another apron class as well, which will make a full-size apron. And for that, the skill will be making a casing, which we will be slipping the string through the tie so that it is adjustable at the neck, as well as, of course, being able to tie it. So I was up in Pennsylvania for, I think, 5 days, and I got, obviously, a lot accomplished. I had 3 full days of sewing. Yes, I did. 3 full days of sewing. It was great. And a day of fun to pal around with my friend. So we had a great time. I look forward to visiting her again. We'll see how much I get done on the next trip. Earlier this year, I talked about one of the projects that I was starting here in my hometown of Snow Hill, Maryland, where I was going to be opening and developing a craft reuse center. It's called Common Threads, and we opened for our first day yesterday on Friday, May 1st. And we don't really have a set schedule yet because I don't have a set schedule of things. So trying to work out, we've got some volunteers who have been coming in to help sort things and are willing to kind of man the fort for the Common Threads. So not only are we a craft reuse center where we resell donated craft items, so that's everything from fabric, yarn, embroidery things, jewelry making, paints, although not oil paints, but artist paints otherwise, scrapbooking, paper making, rubber stamping, just pretty much craft materials. So we've been getting those donations in, and we've been sorting through and organizing them. And we are also going to be having sort of sit and craft times. And we had one of those yesterday. So I was working on my wool applique. I'll give you a little sneak peek at that. I have 2 projects going. Well, one I finished yesterday, and the other I'm making more progress on, getting close to the finish line. And I have a few other designs. So both of these are my original design. They will be available hopefully later this month or by June at Vintage Pink and Green. You may remember that a couple of months ago, I released a video where I encouraged people to keep quilting anyway. And if quilting isn't your thing, maybe whatever craft you're doing, just keep doing it. Don't let the weight of the world hold you back. Sometimes just taking a deep breath, working on something that is mindful, that you don't have to think about, is a good way to go. So if you don't have a quilt project or other craft project that is sort of mindless, where you don't have to do a lot of thinking, then sometimes you can just pull strips of fabric together and start sewing them, and with no end in mind, just sort of making a new fabric. So I did that. I pulled some fabrics from my stash. I cut some various width of strips. I sewed them together, and they are still just in that state. But I have been thinking about it. So hopefully in the next few weeks, I am going to come up with a couple of fun things that I did with those fabrics. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you will know when the next video comes out. I hope this was a nice quick catch up on what I've been up to, and I look forward to designing many more quilts and making many more tutorials. Until next time, why not check out this?